Hello YouTube, this is a real proper real Blender tutorial and not a parody or a funny video. So if you're expecting like the other sort of stuff on my channel, this is not the video for you. Anyways, today we will be building this kind of hexagonal world generation thing, which is like procedurally generated mountain range with beaches and it's all hexagons. So basically on the Blender subreddit, I've seen a lot of these just everywhere, and like put a couple of them on screen, and all of them go back to this one tutorial by this one YouTuber, which I watched the tutorial and uses a lot of nodes. And honestly, I think that is the correct method of how you should go about making this sort of stuff. But I personally am too lazy for that, so instead I've figured out a much simpler yet more destructive way of making the same thing. And this is gonna be a tutorial. I'm gonna take like 1/4 the time he took and make the same thing. Here we go. This is a tutorial starting now. First, delete everything. We don't need it. We need a hexagon as the base of our world. Very simple. Mesh, circle, set the vertices to be 6. And there we go. We have an hexagon. Already great start. Next, we need to convert this into triangles. That might sound counterintuitive, but just believe me, that's what we have to do. Tab, select all the vertices. No, don't select all of them. Select just 2 of them on opposite sides. Press F to make an edge between them. Okay, after this, select the middle edge. Control R to put a vertex in the middle. This vertex will be needed. Now A to select all of it. Alt F to fill all of them. This will create this kind of like triangle pattern which creates an hexagon. Good. A, select all of them. Subdivide. Now, the number of subdivisions will determine the number of hexagons in our world. I think personally just 6, 7 is fine. We can come back to this and change this. So just let that be. So now what we're going to do with this is every single vertex over here, we're going to take it and turn it into like a hexagonal cylinder almost. To do that, first we need to get a cylinder. Set the vertices to 6. Scale it down, scale it up, but only on the z-axis. Shift A, apply all transformations. Then we can hide this. We don't need this anymore. Select this, open up geometry nodes, because this tutorial will require geometry nodes. It's going to be simpler than the other one, but it's still going to be geometry node based. What we're going to do is mesh 2 points. This will distribute points on every single vertex of our mesh. And we're going to turn we're going to turn each of those points into the hexagon. Right. After this, what we need to do is instance 2 points on points. I don't know what the difference is. Just use this one. It works. Maybe I'm doing this completely wrong. Maybe this is not like the best practice, but it works. Get an object info node. Select the object to be the cylinder we created earlier. Take the geometry from the cylinder we created earlier. Put it in the instances for the instance 2 point node. And already that looks, we're getting close to what we wanted. It's not quite there. Still, it's only been like 2 minutes into the tutorial. We can fix this. Right. So in some cases, this already should begin tiling if we just set the scale. For me, it's not going to tile. As you can see, there's these triangles in the middle. What we have to do then is set the Z rotation to 30, and that should fix it. For this node, the instance on points, when picking the instance, here is where you do the rotation and the scale for all of the instances. If it doesn't tile correctly for you, just set this to 30. Otherwise, it might just tile for you anyways. Now we need to set the scale to... This is honestly, you can just do this on your own, whatever you like. I like to get a value node and just do it this way, because then you can control all of them at the same time. Yeah. That's it. That's the value which works for me. And there we go. We have this. Now we need to displace this. How do we displace this in a way that it creates kind of cool natural looking mountains and valleys and beaches and rivers and everything? First of all, we take all of this, just move it over there. We're going to do all of the displacing over here. Keep in mind that even now, if I go into edit mode, this is the actual vertex we are, not the vertices, the This is the actual mesh we are working with. So we just need to displace this, because any point we displace here like this, it also displaces the corresponding hexagon with it. You don't have to do this, just, yeah. Right, so what we do is we bring a set position node. Again, I don't know if this is best practice. This is just a node which happened to work for me. And here we are going to use the offset to basically displace the geometry. For all I care about, you can just use like a this displace modifier from here. No, but we're going to do this procedurally. Right, noise texture. And then we need a combine XYZ, because this over here is a vector and this is a color or a factor. We need to convert this into a vector. This is how we do it. So if I plug this into here, it's going to like scatter the X axis for all of the vertices. We don't want that. We want it to scatter the Y axis, the Z axis, sorry, which is this one. And this is the result we wanted. Just turn the roughness and detail down. For us, that's not necessary. And I would recommend you go for the scale somewhere around 1.5. It looks nice. Now the thing with this is we don't have a way to, so this is like the scale of the texture we are using to displace, but the actual displacement, how far up or how far down the hexagons will go, we don't have any way to define that right now. So for that, what we do is we use a map range node, and here from minimum to maximum value, just keep it from 0 to 1, because that is what the noise texture outputs. So the from should be 0 to 1. From min 0, from max 1. For this one, what I'd recommend, you can basically imagine this as your lowest height and your highest height. So we can make the highest height go like way higher. It just messes everything up. No, wait, that was the lowest height. We can make the highest height go way higher, or we can make the lowest height go way lower. Right now, I think we don't have enough distance between them. So I'm going to set my minimum to -1. And you know what? That looks about right. Like, yeah, that's what I wanted. But since we are doing this all procedurally, instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a value node. And I'm going to get a math node. I'm going to set this to multiply. Value goes in there, multiply it with -1, and plug this into the minimum, and then the value straight goes to maximum. This way we basically have the scale for our amount of displacement. So if we were using a displacement modifier, we would automatically have this, but you know what, this works well enough. I'll set it to, I think that looks nice. Right. That's it. That's your hexagonal world. Now we just need to shade it and add the, you know, other stuff. Not as important other stuff. The fancy rivers and everything. Okay. Shading tab. If it would load. Actually, you know what? No shading tab. Instead, we're going to do this in layout, because I like that better. You can do it in shading tab. Doesn't matter. We're gonna set this to material preview and go to a new material. This material shouldn't work right now because, well, okay, this material shouldn't work right now. That's all right. What we have to do is go back to geometry nodes, and right at the end, after everything else, we just set material to the new material we created. Now we can go back to layout, and now everything should work. So now we need not this, we need object info, and we look at the location of it. This doesn't look very helpful. It doesn't look like hills at all. Don't worry, we'll fix it. First we separate the XYZ and we look at the Z. Now that's basically the height of each individual hexagon, which obviously is very important to us. And we are going to take it and we are going to map range it again. That's not how you spell map. This time our 2 should be from 0 to 1, because we're going to output this as a color. So just take my word for it that the two should be 0 to 1. And for the minimum and maximum, what we have to do is go to like the lowest hexagon, which I don't, okay, this one looks like the lowest. And we need it to be, okay, no, that's not how we do it. We need it to be black and the rest everything to be shades of gray. Now that looks fine to me. Yeah, I think that's how close we're gonna get. And then for the top one, the highest one, now this is actually not a very good seed for what we're doing. I'm just quickly going to go back and set this to 4D and just randomize it till we have one with like good variation, like clearly highs and lows. That one looks all right. It should be, yeah, so see, now the black is lower than it was earlier. There. And for the maximum, we just want the toppest of the top to be white, like this one, and nothing else. So there. Now we have our map ranged correct value of height. Just, yeah, we have it. This is, we need this. How will we use this? We will color ramp this information. So actually, you know what? We can go directly here now. And from here, we can go to there. We don't need this node anymore. We can go to, you know, full shading thing. You can set up your lights now. Just take your time, set up all the lights and stuff which you need to see this. I'm just going to use this one add-on. I really like this 3-point light system. I'm going to delete the camera. I don't need the camera. Because these are good lights. Okay, I'm going to quickly do this. You can do yours too. Just take your time. Figure it out. You can use an HDRI too. So for me, I think that looks perfect. That's the lighting I want. And back to shading. So now we have this color ramp, which we made earlier. And in this color lamp, I just want you to like establish some colors you want. So for example, I want to have at the lowest level where like the lakes and rivers will be, I want like quite a bright, unsaturated, sandy color. Something like that. And for the peaks, I'm going to leave it as white because that's where the snow goes on the mountains. I don't know. I am not a geologist. I'm not, you know, just do the whatever colors you like. And then green in the middle. See, that already looks nice. I'll move it here. Right. And you can set this to like ease or whatever. Like, yeah, it's do whatever you want. You know what? Actually, I'm going to. Nah, it's fine. And a little bit of brown, just really dark red, right about there. So now you can move these colors about, and there we have a, okay, no, there's still more. Roughness up, specularity up. It just makes everything look better. And okay, I skipped a step. Hide this. We don't need that. Bring the original cylinder back. This is the mesh we're instancing for everything else. And just apply a bevel modifier to it. It looks bad right now, but if we just increase the number of subdivisions and like segments and do this and then shade smooth, now we can get rid of this again and bring back our thing. Look at how much better it looks. Okay, I might bring it. No. Just slightly up. There. And we are almost done. So two things I would recommend you do from here, but like everything else in this tutorial, it's completely optional. Why doesn't this look right? It doesn't look as nice as my other one. Well, I guess turn the specularity down. One of those. Anyway, so two things I recommend you do. One, add a water level. That's very simple. Go to cylinder. Scale it up slightly so it matches our other thing. Move it down, scale it down on the z-axis, and just set this to be your water level. I want quite a low water level. I think that's a nice water level, and then we'll move the beaches up. That looks fine. Right, now we click on this, add a new material. Just roughness down, metallic up, set the color to be blue, or whatever you want your water to be. I prefer my water to be blue. Transmission up, transmission roughness all the way down, and then we need to go to the material settings, where we will simply change all of this to alpha hashed. And it's still not transmitting. Screen space reflections. This. Well, I think I crashed my blender. Oh, no, it's still working. Turn that off. We don't need that. This, reflections, refraction, it's... Okay, if nothing else works, if you can't make good water, just turn the alpha to like 0.8 and boom, instantly just great water. Look at that, it's just good water. So now another concern you might have is what do you do with this thing in the niche, like at the bottom? There's nothing you can do about that. Actually, there is. What you do is there's way better ways to deal with this. You can use booleans, you can use geometry nodes to hide, to create a mask layer, to do, so many things you can do to hide this ugly bottom mountain. And I would highly encourage you to do all of them. However, this tutorial has already gone on too far. So instead, I'm going to make some actually good Blender users cry by... Well, wait, you'll see. Just making this new, delete, hold out. And then I'm going to set in the render settings, film, transparent. There you go, it's gone. Fixed. No problem here. Yep. Just nothing to see here. It's fixed. In all honesty, find out a better way. I'm sure there are better ways. I'm just too lazy to think of them. It's fixed now. Right, now tutorial's over. You can go back home. That's it. That's the entire tutorial. I'm just going to fix a few things which are not necessary to fix. You can live like this, but I'm gonna fix them anyways. So those few things are the W over here. Definitely going to include that like this with the geometry group input. So I can go here and change the W from over here. You can imagine the W to be like a random seed, but for that your noise texture has to be 4D. So that's how you do that. That's how you change the W. And then another thing I think you personally should, connect up to here is, instead of having value over here, have a reroute and just reroute it through here. Oh, no, don't reroute it through the, reroute it like this. That's how you reroute it. And then you can delete this value, just remember it's 1.1 and do this. Now you have a 1. So this is like the scale. And now you can, oh, no, don't do that. Now you can adjust the scale of your mountains from over here along with your random seed. And if you want to be really fancy, you can also add stuff like scale. If you want to just how oh no, that's W. If you wanted just how scaly your thing is, like 0.2, it's just going to be nothing. But that's actually kind of cool. So if you need this effect, that's how you get that effect. If you set it to something like just 1, that's also a pretty nice scale. So yeah, so you can mess around with this a lot. There's a lot you can do. That's it. Thanks for watching. Don't need to subscribe. I don't normally make tutorials. This is just something I figured out and I thought that, other people should know. You can go ahead, leave a dislike on this video if you don't like it, and now, bye.